thoughts of the day. And my thoughts is, why is it that more people don't chase their dreams or don't look for that key inside of them, that thing that makes them unique in the universe? I think a lot of times we get so wrapped up in what society fames as successful, right? Am I going to be a great athlete? Am I going to be this music artist? Am I going to be like this actor? And a lot of times we find ourselves actually chasing somebody else's dreams instead of chasing ours, right? We try to like relive life through our parents, or relive life through a best friend, or try to make or appease the world, but never actually finding that thing inside that makes us unique from everybody else. That one thing that's hidden beneath all this dark stuff. It's almost like a diamond surrounded by dark coal. Like we're almost afraid to like seek that diamond because we don't know, right? Because it may not fit into what everybody else finds successful. I find myself in this predicament, right? Well, I found myself in this predicament because at this very moment, even while I'm doing this video, I'm walking through a lot of fear, because anybody knows me, like they know I hate doing videos and I hate taking pictures. But in this present time, in this present moment, I was confronted with a suggestion of like wanting to grow. And in order for me to grow, I'm gonna have to walk through some fear, right? Because you can't grow in comfortability. And when it was presented to me, the first thing that came to my mind is, I can't do this, or I shouldn't do this, or that's just not me, or that's not something I embark upon, because I was taught to stay comfortable in my own comfort zone. Well, my comfort zone, I've never been happy. I'm comfortable being miserable. I'm comfortable with mediocrity. I'm comfortable with like limiting my expectations, right? Because I rather like not reach for a goal and not fail than reach for a goal and fail, because to me it's an embarrassment. How wrong is that, right? I think a lot of times we get wrapped up in this idea that I can't do something, and I don't know if it's through like beating myself up on the inside, like constantly telling myself like I'm not this person, constantly telling myself like I'm not worthy of this, constantly saying like that's not what prosperity looks like, or is it just that I don't believe that there's actually a given talent to everybody? I don't know. But it became clear to me, right, when I took this life change about 4 years ago, when I came down here and I embarked upon this mission of like wanting to change who I was, is that I can no longer look at my life through my selfish perception. I have to learn to look at it through a wider angle, a wider view, different people's eyes. And it's weird because people always tell me like, you have a great heart, you're a great speaker, the way you touch people, the way people react to you, the way you demand their attention, the way you're connected. And I never thought that was a talent, first of all. Second of all, I thought people were just being nice to me because I beat myself up on a regular basis. And so what happened was the universe and God like had to deliver this message so uniquely that I can no longer like ignore or evade like the message he was trying to get across to me. So what he did one day is two strangers I've never laid eyes on before, they never saw me before, heard me speak. And after they heard me speak, they came up to me and they said, and they gave me all these like praise that made me feel uncomfortable at first, because I'm not comfortable getting any kind of accolades. And they told me like, you're a great speaker and people need to hear your message. And I'm like, all right, cool. It sounded good for a while, and it stroked my ego, and I questioned it. I'm like, maybe they're true, but these are two strangers that have no reason to like say anything to appease me. So what I did was, after being confronted with this, and feeling good that two strangers felt this way, I told a bunch of friends, and it wasn't like ego stroking. It was like, are they right? Almost. I need you to confirm it, and I sent one to my mom. I sent the email. I sent the text message that the lady sent to me to my mom, waiting for her like excitement, waiting for her to say, I knew you can do it, baby, or I knew you had this. And my mom was like, okay, excellent. And she was like short and to the point, and she lacked enthusiasm about it. So it made me kind of scared me. It made me upset. So later on, the next day, my mom called me and she explained to me why, right? And she said she don't really trust people. Like in her whole life, she has plenty of examples of when people like let her down. And I understood that. Hurt to hear, but understood it. And then we had like a good 10 or 15-minute conversation, and my mom ended the conversation by saying, but no matter if I trust people or not, I've always got a loving trust in God. Like she's really religious, and she told me that she trusts God undoubtedly. And I understood, but after we hung the phone up, it kind of dawned on me, right? Like, you can't have one without the other. You can't say you trust God, but you don't trust people. Because, and the way I say that is because unless the God of my understanding take physical form again and walk this earth, he's going to send your blessings through strangers. You're going to have to take the risk of trusting people. And how many times in life have I turned my back on my blessings because I just didn't trust people, right? But when I just don't trust people, what I'm technically saying is I just don't trust God. And yeah, I don't want to give nobody the satisfaction of hurting me, but if I don't trust people, I'm not going to give God the satisfaction of blessing me. So I'm forced to sit in this like problem of, do I risk getting hurt to find a blessing? Right? Yes. 100%. 100%. I get the privilege to bear witness to what he can do in our life, or how the universe can work for you. That is a privilege. That is something that most people go their whole life blind to. And I'm no longer blind to the fact that he will speak and he will act and he will show and he will humble me through this, right? Because anytime that anybody don't meet an expectation I give them, I'm humble. I am humble, realizing that I don't control the universe and everybody's who they are, right? And how wrong am I to set an expectation? But I'm also anticipating, waiting, because I know he's never let me down and he will show up each and every time, right? So now, going back to these two strangers who are husband and wife who saw this in me that I couldn't see in myself, right? That probably everybody saw that loved me, but being they love me, I never gave them no real credibility. But these two strangers who don't know me from Adam and Eve just sat down and gave me these blessings. You know, two of the biggest things I have in my life is like self-love. That's the biggest problem I have in my life is like having self-love, right? And another problem is trying to create this image of who I really want to be, this solid, strong leader, somebody who people can rely on and stand up to, rely on, right? And I sit down with these strangers and we have a meeting, and I never saw them before. Except for that one day they heard me speak. We never had an in-depth conversation, but the second time we meet, we're sitting down talking, and they're telling me about their life and their experiences, what they do for people, and how they like to motivate and give back. And the lady said we have special areas in our life we work on. She works on helping people develop self-love, and he works on helping people reinvent themselves. And all of a sudden, the proverbial knock on the door, right? And it's finally God's knocking, saying, yeah, this is it. This is what you was called for. This is where you're supposed to be at. Everything brought you to this one moment in your life. All your experiences, your trials, your tribulations, your ups and downs, who you are as a person, how you look, how you act, brought you to this one moment from I could finally tell you, this is your gift. Right? How many times have I heard that knock on the door, but I swore it's for someone else? How many times have I heard that knock on the door, but I beat myself up so bad I didn't want to open it? How many times I heard that knock on the door and I just turned my back on it because I was scared I wouldn't live up to that expectation, right? How many times I heard that knock on the door and I was just like, you know what? That won't fit in what society wants me to be because I'm big or because I'm a certain complexion. I need to do this kind of thing, right? Then I go out and I try in other areas and I fail drastically. And I get scared to even try to reach for another goal. But in that one moment, sitting with two strangers at almost 40 years old, it's finally revealed to me that this is it. Right? This is it. I can no longer let fear hold me back. I can no longer be scared to embrace the earth. I can no longer like ignore what all my friends and loved ones in the universe and God have been trying to tell me for the longest time. That I have a message that needs to be heard by everyone. My thoughts of the day is, my message for the day is, when that door knocks, it's meant for you. Open it. Not just open it. No longer let fear stop you from walking through it and letting them in. Thank you.